Hello and welcome back to My Mom's Basement, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with Ryan Malicsi from Hot Mulligan. We are here to talk about the new album from Hot Mulligan, The Sound a Body Makes When It's Still. It's out August 22nd. I cannot wait for this album. I've been a fan for a long time. I feel like this interview is a long time coming because we've followed each other on Twitter for a while and we've talked for a while. So thank you for doing the show. I appreciate the time, Ryan.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, so let's talk about all things Hot Mulligan. Usually, when I have an artist or band on the show, I ask for the origin story first. I'm a nerd. I love comic books. I love talking origins. What was the origin story of Hot Mulligan? Did you guys go to school together? Did you guys just meet growing up, playing in bands and stuff?
Yeah. So Chris and Tades, currently, so the two singers, they went not to the same high school, but adjacent high schools because they grew up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So they're way up there where there's like 13 people and 300 cows and stuff. Um, and as far as I'm aware, the story goes, they both played in other bands. Chris played in like a reggae band or something like that, and Taze is in a like a punk band. And they played a show together, and he was like, Chris was like, "You sound good. We should start a punk band." Started a punk band, and then not too long after that, Chris started college at Michigan State, and me and him were roommates at orientation before the year started. And he was
Oh,
like,
wow.
"Got a rock band," and I was like, "I don't really care, man." And then we just kept hanging out, and I ended up in the punk band.
Did
And
you
that's
play guitar when you met?
yeah. I've been playing guitar since I was like 5 or something like that, and played music all through like middle school, high school, and then kind of planned on dumping it a little bit in college, and then Hot Mulligan kind of had other plans. So here
Were
we are.
you listening to and playing like Hot Mulligan style music at all? Was it completely different? Like, what kind of music were you playing?
Oh, dude, not at all. I didn't even know this world like existed beyond like I knew Green Day growing up, but like I didn't even know like getting into it, Chris had to show me like the good Blink 182 records and stuff. But yeah, when I was like in high school, I was like kind of like an indie Tumblr kid. Like I was big into like Arctic Monkeys and like
Okay.
the Wombats and stuff like that. So that kind of ruled my airwaves until the emo came along, and here we are.
Yeah, so how did that Hot Mulligan sound develop when you guys first started, I guess, practicing or playing shows together?
Man, it was kind of like they already had an EP out when I met them. Um and I wouldn't say that they sound like those old EPs necessarily sound the same as our material now, but when we first started jamming, it was just like, hey dude, you gotta like play in this open tuning. That's like what the emo pop punk kids do. And dude, I was confused. So I just had to like keep up, and kind of work around. Uh I feel like that just kind of like developed our sound a little bit is when we started writing songs together as opposed to like, oh, we got this show at Max Bar. It's going to be huge. There's 50 people there. You got to learn our
Yeah.
songs. After that, once I got like a handle on it, it was more like, okay, we got to write some songs. And like I had a music background from, all the years of playing other stuff. And I don't know, it just kind of came together with like they already had a good foundation of what they wanted to sound like. And um, I was able to kind of work into it and get used to, the tropes of the genre and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I like to think that I just kind of slipped in and started adding my own thing to it, and they already had a solid base rolling. So,
Were you guys doing any covers early on?
oh man, not not really. I think we Hot Mulligans only played a couple covers live, and there was a period where like while me and Chris were in college, he was able to finish his degree online, and I was not able to do that. So I skipped out on like a couple of our first like support tours and stuff like that. And I think on a couple of those tours, they ended up playing like Kids by MGMT, and I'm still so mad that I didn't get to play that.
Yeah, did you have ultimate FOMO of watching them go on like support tours stuck at college?
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I knew it would probably be the best decision, yada yada. Like, oh, I got to get my
Yeah.
all that, but like Chris did it. I was like, man, what the heck? They were playing all these cool shows, and I was like, well, maybe one day. And then
Yeah. What did you get a degree in?
I got a degree in economics. Chris got a degree in humanities.
Interesting. I didn't know that about either of you guys. Yeah. And what was the music scene like in Michigan at this point? Like when you guys are starting out?
Oh, it was great. When we first started playing around, especially in Lansing, like around MSU's campus, there were seemingly endless like DIY bands. And there were like a lot of, I mean, to us when we were 18, it was seemingly endless, right? Like a
Yeah.
giant scene. And also being someone that like didn't even know that world existed. Like I thought small bands played at like amphitheaters and then big bands played at stadiums. So it was cool, man. We had like a good group of like, God, I can think of like 5 to 10 right off the top of the head where like we would go play like houses. There's like so many houses that were around Lansing at the time that probably are defunct now. Um, and small bars around that I know for a fact don't exist now or are not in the same way. But it was great. I feel like we had like a good come up and like a good group of people around it. And like I'm still friends with all those people today. So, and they all still make music. So,
It's awesome.
yeah.
Is there any disaster stories from early Hot Mulligan shows or Spinal Tap moments or shows gone wrong?
Oh, dude, definitely. The first one that comes to mind, for some reason I can't remember who we were supporting, but it was like a pretty big deal for us, like support tour. It might have been when we were out with Newfound Glory, which was like pretty big for us, right? And our bass player at the time could not make the show. He had to like leave for some like a wedding or something. We were like, dude, it's no big deal. We'll put it on tracks. Like it was one of our first tours using like new gear, tracks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're like, dude, we'll put it on. It's all good. And somehow the venue got the wires crossed or something, and we start playing. And number one, our click track is blaring through the speaker,
Oh, no.
like in front of like one of the bigger crowds we've ever played through. Immediately, click track's going. No one really can hear it because we got our ears in, so we have no idea.
Yeah.
And then it takes like half a song to realize that the bass that we put on tracks was many measures off.
Oh no.
So we ended up noticing because we could hear it reverberating off the back wall. Definitely just sounded like whale noises and a metronome, and then us floundering around. And yeah, vibes were dark that night. Vibes were putrid.
Yeah, and is that like pre or post You'll Be Fine?
That would be post You'll Be Fine, I think.
I was gonna say, was that like a life-changing album, an album cycle for you guys? That's when I discovered you guys personally, and it felt like that was just such a blow-up album.
Yeah, I mean, it feels really dramatic to say, but that record really did like change all of our lives. I mean, it kind of cemented like, and it was a product at the time too, is like, we're coming out of COVID. No one's really sure. Like, we put the record out during COVID. We had to cancel, I think, 2 iterations of the headlining tour around it. And at that time, I think we only headlined once, and it was like kind of a make or break era where like, we have to this record's got to do well or we're kind of
Yeah.
just not going to be a band for a long time. And there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of like not being able to tour the record. And finally, when it came around, we were able to play. It was like, we started picking up support tours. The headlining tour around it went well. And it kind of like at the time was like a cementing feeling of like, yeah, this is like what you guys do now.
Yeah.
Like it felt like, we're a real band now. We got to keep doing this.
And then did you feel crazy pressure to try to follow that album up? Like when you do, Why Would I Watch? Were you guys feeling that consciously in the studio?
Oh, that's a good question. I think probably everyone has a different answer for that. I personally always put a lot of stress on it. Like when we're making a
Yeah.
record, for some reason I can never feel good about it until it's like out. Um, but yeah, I think the pressure was there. But You'll Be Fine was received well enough that I think we were kind of just hopeful. Like
Yeah.
you know, it did well, and I think that as a group, we make records like really authentically. Like we don't reach for like, we got to make this song, but again, or like
Hmm.
anything like that. So I think it was just kind of one of those things where we started making the record and you get most of the way through it and you're like, yeah, this one feels pretty good. So the pressure kind of falls off a little bit.
Yeah. Do you guys take turns with album titles? Is it one person naming all the songs? Like, who's coming up with that stuff creatively? Obviously, some of the crazy album titles that go viral now, or
Uh,
song titles, excuse me.
yeah, the song titles are pretty collaborative and very dumb, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
It's like mostly just like either inside jokes or like one-liners that someone says. Just
Monica
honestly,
Lewinsky on this album is insane.
yeah, that one's cooked, man. Yeah, that's one of those things. Probably half of those are like, our producer Brett will just be making the Pro Tools file when we like don't even have a song yet. He's like, "What's this one called?" And then someone just says the dumbest thing that pops into their mind, and then somehow it makes it like 3 months later. It's like, "What's the song title?" And it's like, "Ah, screw it, keep it."
Yeah.
But as far as record titles go, we definitely have like a theme. Well, since Pilot at least, we have a theme of like grabbing a one-liner from the record that kind of
Mhm.
sums up like thematically what the record's about or just like a general feeling and doesn't even need to like none of it is like, oh, it's the hook of the chorus of the single
Yeah,
is the title. It's usually just like a low-key line somewhere in a verse that Tades really likes. And I would say he's definitely at the helm of like picking out because he writes all his lyrics and
yeah,
all. I think he just has a good feel for like what line kind of puts that emotion out or like wraps it up well. So yeah, give him his flowers for that one.
definitely. I mean, this one, the sound a body makes when it's still, just feels dark. Am
Dude,
I reading that right? I mean, is that the vibe we're going for on this album?
yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, when we were like shooting titles around, I was like, damn, that one is dark. Like that's kind of
Yeah,
like makes it seem like
fucking
we're on.
metal.
Yeah, really. It sounds like a post-hardcore record or something.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that's you know, thematically the record can be pretty dark. They all kind of can be.
yeah,
But I don't think it's as dramatic as the name implies. Like I
okay.
don't think the switch is like super like, yeah, we're like twisted now.
The
I
sick
think
and twisted album from Hot
yeah.
Mulligan.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really you could only really get it if you're a psychopath.
What is it like when you're in the studio? I assume having a good time with your boys and you're recording great music, but the songs are so dark thematically sometimes. Is there ever like hey man, you okay?
Dude, there's for sure this feeling is so familiar where like we make it all the way through an instrumental. Like we go from like jamming out just the bones of a song to like writing the bass parts and then like getting real intricate. Maybe we'll get a scratch vocal and then get really intricate with all the leads and stuff. And whole band's like, man, this one's like a bop. And then Tades gets in there and then everyone's on the couch like, oh boy. Um, and it's always great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's he's so good at his job. It's just sometimes so funny to like the single we just put out, Island in the Sun, is like, so bright and summery feeling to me. And then you
Yeah.
go in and like start screaming about how like, you have bad behavior sometimes and like everything's so dark and sick. And I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we check up on our boys.
Yeah, great front man. Great front man, great songwriter. Obviously, all you guys are great songwriters. What does that process usually look like? Is it jamming out the bones of something and then adding lyrics to it last and stuff like that? Like, is that generally how the process goes?
Yeah, kind of. It's every record has been like a little different, but I will say like the core like Hot Mulligan method is basically just five guys in a room. And if like I'm allowed to pat myself on the back, it really comes together like pretty quickly. Um like the amount of time it takes is like Chris will come up with a chord progression usually. Brandon does not follow like it takes him like 5 seconds to start following that, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we can get like a vibe going and it might take us an hour or two or a couple hours to flesh out like how a song goes, how long a verse needs to be. And then Tates will just be in a corner with a little notebook like this. And it's like, what's that guy doing? And then out of nowhere, he just grabs the microphone. It's like, oh my God, there's a chorus now. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
So that's been like pretty much how we wrote most of our records. Why Would I Watch was a bit of a departure where we tried to do more of like a piece by piece type writing where we wouldn't even get in the room for some of it. Like, we would just stick Chris in a seat with a guitar and say, like, here's a metronome, man. Like, what's the song sound like? And he would just, you know, get it out that way, just a chord progression. And then we kind of stack layers from there, get Brandon in to play some drums. And I think that worked really well for us. But I feel like nothing really beats like when you play together, you can like react to each other in a way.
Yeah.
Like ideas just come a little quicker that way. Um, and I kind of like it because you don't really have time to sit and think about stuff. You don't have time to like really flesh out the perfect part for this. You just kind of have to make it happen. And I always feel like whatever comes to mind first is like the best idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really glad to do this record that way. It ended up working out, I think.
And what's the timeline of like when you started recording or even writing these songs to when you were done with it?
I think our first session for this record was in November. We did 3 weeks, November 24. Um, and I think out of that session, we ended up doing like, I don't know, 10 songs or something, maybe less, maybe more, but we ended up with a lot of songs. We did 3 weeks in November, and then we took the holidays off, and we came back and wrapped up in 3 weeks in January and a couple weeks in February. So maybe 2 months
Have
total
you been
time.
itching to get this stuff out? If it's been done since February, or are you like anxious about it still?
No, I'm not anxious about it. I'm excited to get it out.
Yeah.
I think, I think it's a good record, and I'm just excited for people to hear it. But no, I feel like that's something that you kind of get used to, like the amount of time it takes to get mixes done, get them
Hmm.
approved, wait for mastering. In the beginning, it's like very much like, oh God, I can't wait. But I feel like you get, 4 records deep, and it's like that's just how things go.
Yeah.
So,
I've got a couple rapid fire questions for you here. These can be just the first thing that comes to mind for you. The strongest vocal performance you've ever seen live.
ooh, strongest vocal performance I've ever seen live. Am I allowed to say Tades? He's
Yeah,
he's nuts, dude.
he is.
Yeah. Um, wow, who else? Why did I just forget every show I've ever
Some of these might blank you like that because this next one's tough for everybody. The funniest musician you've ever met.
Dude, you know what? The singer from Less Than Jake is pretty hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, Chris, he's pretty funny. He was like
Have
one
you
of
guys toured with them?
yeah, we supported Less Than Jake and Newfound Glory on the same tour.
Oh, cool.
And it was kind of the first time that we had like, or at least me, because the other guys had done support tours, but it was the first time where we had toured with a band that's like a full entire generation older than us. Uh,
Yeah.
like they've been doing it since I was in diapers, and
Yeah.
he just had a really good way of like humanizing immediately, and just like being funny. And I thought that was really cool.
Cool. The craziest crowd you've ever been in or seen live.
Outbreak Festival that we just played last year
Yeah.
was pretty crazy. Um, just for the fact that like it's a hardcore festival and they have
Yeah.
front extra stage for like moshing and two-stepping and stage diving and stuff. Um, and we played it and also
Yeah.
immediately after Joyce Manor, which I thought was crazy. Like I was like, oh God, I don't want to do that. And then we got up and there were like English kids two-stepping to Hot Mulligan. And I was like, all right, cool, sure, whatever.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
The tightest band you've ever seen live.
Jimmy Eat World.
Great
They
answer.
sound perfect every night and it like makes me mad.
I saw you guys both open up for Fall Out Boy at Madison Square Garden. Crazy that you guys got to be on that bill, obviously, and play MSG. What was that like for you guys?
Oh, dude, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That's like one of those things where like, you see other bands do it and you think about it all the time and it's like, man, that would be cool. And then once you're there, I'm not gonna lie, man, I was just a ball of anxiety. Like I was like, oh my God, like my whole family flew to New York to watch it, and like it felt like a very, I don't know, like a cornerstone, like a
Yeah,
very
of course.
there. And I mean it's very cliche, but like we got done and I'm like, what happened? I blacked out. I don't know. Just had to like sit for a minute and think about that one. And then like days,
Yeah,
it's like, shit, I guess we did just play Madison Square Garden. They
it's
gave us no
awesome.
warm up. That was like show three of the run. I was like, great, awesome.
Did you like playing arenas in general?
I did. I thought it was cool. I feel like that's another one where like everyone might have a little different thing.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a little awkward. Just as like we came up playing like basements and like 100 cap bars and stuff, and we're used to the, sweaty, no barricade, stage dive type thing. And we got out there and it was like seating and
People
like
are filing in.
people are still filing in, everyone's sitting, there's no pit, like no one's standing for anything.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's really like I can't lie, it's pretty difficult to try to not only like keep the energy up, but like portray it out to the a crowd of seated 45-year-old parents with their children. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do there? But it's a fun challenge, and I don't know. I always think that like if we get an opportunity to play music to like as many people as possible, then like I'm always all for it. So
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I saw Turnstile open for Blink, in the arena
yeah,
tour, and even something like that was like, it was cool to see them in a different environment, but it's just like so different. It's like people are
so
sitting on their hands watching Turnstile.
yeah, it's and that band is like they're like a firework, man. Like they're
Yeah.
only energy, and it's strange, but it's a fun
Yeah.
challenge. I would definitely do more.
And then your bucket list dream concert. Do you have one that comes to mind right away? Is there a band that you haven't seen that you really want to?
Oh, like to attend?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Um, I don't know. I feel like I kind of accomplished it. I've been like a big Arctic Monkeys fan since I was a kid.
Hmm.
I ended up taking myself for my birthday last year or 2 years ago when they were touring with Fontaine's DC, and I was like, sweet, I don't need to like buy a ticket for a big concert ever again. That feels good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot, but I don't think anything that's like super mad. I'd love to see Metallica. I've never seen Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Metallica's awesome. To this day,
yeah.
they still got it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen like videos of they played Ford Field like somewhat recently, and I had to miss it, and I was like, man, that would be a cool one.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future before they hang it up at some point.
I also cover a lot of wrestling on this show, so I got to ask about Hot Mulligan's first wrestling theme. What was that like? I know Brandon's obviously a wrestling fiend. Are you guys also fans?
A lot more casually. Um,
Okay.
Brandon's super into it, and then probably I would fall in second place. But when I say casual, man, I mean it. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up watching WWE, and I think it's really cool. And it's also cool that he kind of sparked my interest in it now as an adult.
Hmm.
Um, and we like, I went to SummerSlam with him. Like, we went and saw a live event. That was my first
At
one
Ford Field, right?
at Ford Field. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. I think we were like, "Are you here?"
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, it's cool. I think it's like a very fun, like sort of like sport entertainment.
Yeah.
I would go see it again for sure. But it was really cool to do the theme for Kyle Fletcher. It was like definitely a big moment for Brandon, of course. Like that's kind of a dream type thing. But
Yeah.
it was just cool to get that call and yeah, there was like a lot of pressure around it. Like we had a tight timeline. We had no time to get together and be in the studio. So it was a fun challenge to like put everyone's skills to the test and like whip out a song remotely and like write
Hmm.
it and flesh it out and record it and get it mixed. And yeah, man, it's awesome. We got to see it on TV and Brandon went and saw it in person at an AEW event and it's really cool. Feels good.
I'm curious, Brandon, as the wrestling fan, was he kind of directing you guys as to what the theme should sound like? Or was it notes from Kyle Fletcher himself? Was there a general, hey, we should have it sound like this? Or was it just, we're going to write a kick-ass Hot Mulligan song?
It was kind of all of that. We started by I think Chris fleshed out like probably three or four different like just chord progressions with drum beats, like just demoed out on the laptop and sent it out to us to like, kind of comb through, make some edits, get some ideas out. And then once we had like a reasonable demo, like not finished songs or anything, then we sent them to Kyle Fletcher so that he could like see what kind of vibe he's liking. Sent that back, and then Brandon was super helpful on like the like there's a like a tag in the beginning, like you scream Protos.
Yeah.
He's
That's
like,
what I was thinking. Like you want to
yeah,
pop in the beginning of the song, like stuff like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that was something that Kyle Fletcher and AEW were kind of like, hey, we need something like that. And most of us were a little confused, like why we wrote the song. And Brandon's like, no, guys, like that's how wrestling intros go. It's okay. Like,
Yeah.
there's a couple examples. We need to make it more like it needs to end like this. Wrestlers love like sounds and like things that the audience can latch on to. So
Yes.
yeah, definitely helpful, but it was still very much a Hot Mulligan song.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love it. And I just think it's cool that like you could tune into AEW and hear Hot Mulligan now. Like that's
Yeah,
very cool.
crazy.
And then I have the final question I ask all the artists or bands that come on my show, and everyone has different answers. I'm sure the guys in the band may have different answers as well. I'm a huge Oasis fan, and Noel Gallagher said he summed up everything he ever wanted to say with three songs: Cigarettes and Alcohol, Live Forever, and Rock and Roll Star. He says after that, he's just repeating himself under different verbiages or whatever. So if you had to pick three Hot Mulligan songs that sum up what you think the band has wanted to say, which three would you select?
Ooh, crazy. Equip sunglasses, backyard, um, maybe and a big load. We'll
Great
put
answers.
a single in there. Yeah, that's a couple recurring themes. So
I love End a Big Load. The fill that begins it. I can't wrap my head around it. No matter how many times I listen to it, I can watch videos of Brandon doing it. I'm like, I can't wrap my head around that.
yeah, dude, he's a nutcase.
Yeah, that's a kick-ass way to open a song.
Dude, yeah. That's yeah, he's sick.
Yeah, sick drummer and a sick band. Dude, thank you for the time. I appreciate it. Again, the sound a body makes when it's still out, August 22nd, and Hot Mulligan's going on tour. I'll put all the links in the description so you can get tickets to see him if they're coming to your town. I would highly recommend it. I've seen you guys, I think, three times now, and always a great live show.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We'll have to get you out to one of the headlining shows this year.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.